Prabir sir, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. Going on.
Now you should join our CAC meetings, all the meetings, sir. At least you might be grounded your startup, everything, no?
Not yet grounded, sir. It's too tight.
Okay.
Only online sessions, I just say that yes, I'll be
Okay.
happy. But again, whole day is getting a bit of a issue.
Fine, sir. Fine.
How the things, all these KVK things are going on? RKVK?
RKVY going well, sir? More
Going
than
well.
it's going well, yeah. We are having Prime Minister's meeting on 17th October, sir.
He is coming here?
No, sir, in Delhi. RKVY-RAFTAAR Sammelan is there. Anyways, at this time, start. You can carry on. Team can take in. Yeah, carry on.
Sure.
Shall I start?
Yeah, please start now.
Okay. So, good morning, one and all present here. I welcome you all to the 103rd webinar of Saturday webinar series by Managed CIA. Myself, Zenith, working as content developer at Managed CIA. A quick introduction about the center. The Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship is a center of excellence in agribusiness incubation hosted at the National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management. It's one of the leading agribusiness incubators in the country, and Managed CIA has mentored 503 entrepreneurs and incubated 310 agri-startups from various focus areas of agriculture and light sector. The topic for today's session, as you all know, is ICT for sustainable agriculture and role of agri-startup. We have two speakers joining us today. Our first speaker for the day is Mr. Prabir Mishra. He's a technopreneur and the co-founder of TRST01. This firm is a multi-chain blockchain platform that provides blockchain solution on agri and food traceability. And Mr. Prabir has drawn many roles in the past, including that of investment banker, startup coach, mentor, angel investor, value innovator. Over to you, Mr. Prabir. We'll make you the presenter and you can start the session. I request all the attendees to use chat box to address their question to the speakers. We'll be taking up all these questions during our Q&A round.
Thank you. So, can you please allow me to share my screen here?
We are making you the presenter.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for having me here. And I manage a lot. I used to sit in the various committee, and it's all my privilege to present here. So we're going to talk about something on the ICT, the role of ICT, and let me get into very specific. What I'm going to talk about is the startup. What I'm managing is Trust01. So in yeah, my screen is visible, right?
We can't see what you're sharing. Is it visible for you, Praveer?
Not yet.
No, I have not said. I think there was some. Yeah, right now it's.
Yeah, now we see that you're sharing content.
Yes. So thank you. So yes, what I was talking about is I was talking about that what startup we are a blockchain company, blockchain startup, and what we are trying to connect, or we have already connected agriculture and food to the things, to the technology, to the ICT, or you talk about the emerging technology or the blockchain, and we have created a couple of models, couple of use cases, and multiple revenue streams are running out of that. Right now we are connecting to the climate. Now when you talk about all these things, talk about the climate, agriculture and food, it can't be thought it of standalone. Everything is connected. Right now we are going towards a kind of a more towards sustainable agriculture and trying to address the world climate change in a big way. The awareness is getting created. What was not there, maybe it was there, but the gamut of awareness right now, the way it has been transforming, the way it is going to get, it's going to get into a kind of a big way, and everybody is going to get impacted. Let me talk something about the climate. Everybody is observing this year the rain pattern in particularly in Asia is a kind of a very erratic. We have seen in Hyderabad, in Telangana, a lot of rains. Right now, people in Uttar Pradesh and Gurugram are facing the burnt. Couple of days before, Ahmedabad and Gujarat also, that side also they face a bigger problem. Pakistan, 2/3 of the Pakistan is underwater. This side is too much of water, too much of rain. The other side, Europe is going through Europe, and couple of the Middle East countries are going through a very rough and tough weather pattern. There is no rain, there is no water, and there's a drought in they call it in a kind of a centuries drought. They have not seen the 800 years or 500 years. Those old civilizations are coming up because there is the water is getting depleted out there. So yes, you can't look into these things into separately, or talk about the food or agriculture or the climate. Everything is correlated. That's the topic of the agenda, how we are going to do that. And is there a voice break is going on?
No, it's fine. Please go ahead, sir. Maybe somebody there and there may be issue. Please go ahead.
Okay. So see, the Rodale Institute, the institute in, I don't know why I'm coming out of the sharing. Yeah. So the Rodale Institute talk about this climate in and talk about everything taking together. So they say that regenerative agriculture or the organic agriculture or climate, you can't look into all the things separately. It has to be looked into kind of an inclusive basis, and that's the time what has come up. So we are going to discuss on this thing and how the blockchain is going to help on this thing. But just to get you a bit of a before, what is blockchain? What is the technology we are talking of? See, after maybe from 2010 onwards, this blockchain technology has come into that. So it's nothing but a kind of a distributed ledger record transaction. But again, what it provides a kind of a immutability, or any transaction what you get recorded, it's get remain there forever. You can't even amend or delete or modify or do anything. So that's the reason they call it as a kind of a first version of truth. It's worked through like kind of a some simple kind of a conscious mechanism, and I don't want to get into too much of that. Let me tell you simple. If a transaction between me and my friend for 1,000 rupees is done in a group of, let's say in a kitty party of around 10 people are there, so balance 8 of the people are witnessing into that. The same thing it happens whenever there is a transaction get recorded on blockchain. Millions of computer witness that, and whenever there is a requirement to publish that transaction, everybody come together, say that this is truth or false. So that's how the things work. So it provides a kind of a single version of truth, provides authenticity or quality. It results into, so the application in the agri produce and agri farm could be it's a kind of a value that improves the communication between the consumer and the seller. So that's the thing. So if we're talking about the organic, how do we know that it's a pure organic or not? That's the consumer perspective. He raises a question that how organic is that? What is that you are trying to say? Now, in the blockchain, what we give you a simplified delivery mechanism to prove that this is organic, a QR code which will scan and it will trace back to your origin, source, the package of practice to produce that particular food produce, and the packaging, whatever the things are used. So when you talk about the organic, your food organic, your seed is organic, your package of practice is organic, your land is organic, all these certificates are visible through that simplified QR code, and once you scan it and it will deliver. That's the simplicity of technology, what we say. See, if I are talking about a fresh lettuce you are getting from a farm, what is the freshness index? Is there a measure to know that? Yes, there is a measure to know that we integrate all this production process, starting from the germination to the production to the harvesting, what has gone into that produce, that particular product, all this data get captured, sit in the cloud, and it get delivered when you just simply scan the QR and you know the truth. Think of the same thing. Farmers in India, we have got a heavy farmer suicide cases because of the loss in the crop, or the loss in the crop because of the seed not getting germinated. The truthness of that seed is not available. Yes, right now there is a technology which can deliver the complete end-to-end traceability, where the seed is coming, how the seed is coming, that can get delivered. So it's a kind of a simple technology which is giving you the complete ecosystem sustainable. Now, just to give you a simple highlight, coming back to the climate, we know that 1.5 degree changes in the temperature is going to get you 2 months of drought, but whereas 3 degree is going to get you 10 months of average drought. So climate is becoming more importance right now. It's far more relevant right now. So we have to do. So what is that? What we're trying to do? We're trying to create a carbon consciousness. The practice what you do to produce the sustainable agriculture, we put those things into blockchain, or we deliver those things into in a very perfect way. So the simplest way of saying that, yes, what we are doing creating a something called as a measurement, reporting and verification system digitally. So this is called DMRP. This was coined in COP. If you know about COP is the Conference of Parties for the Climate Change in 2007. I think 23rd COP, the term coined as MRV, measurement, reporting and verification. What robustness you are doing on the measurement, verification, reporting and verification, we just do the digitization first. Then we push the data into the blockchain. Then you create certain values out of that. Now think it of a, we are looking for a sustainable agriculture. I just want to give a kind of a good example of methane reduction in the paddy. We know that Indian agriculture produces around 70% of carbon dioxide from paddy cultivation. This is just because of excessive use of water, excessive use of fertilizer, and excessive use of everything. Because government is giving us free, right? Water is free, electricity is free. Who is telling you not to flood the water, flood the field with water? But again, by doing that activity, what we are getting into, we are facing the bigger challenge of methane. Now, each ton of methane is equivalent to 21 tons of carbon dioxide. The more we create methane, that creates a more of carbon dioxide. Now, is there a way to reduce the methane? Yes, you go for some improved methodology like direct seeding methodology or alternate wet and drying methodology in paddy cultivation, and measure those. So this is the digital interface what we are giving. Measure those. So from the baseline, if you are reducing certain amount of methane going to the atmosphere, those are eligible as a carbon credit. So those get measured. Those get measured through some scientific methodology, through a methane chamber. And methane chamber, we put the methane chamber, do a gas chromatography, and we got to know how much is the methane reduction, and those get documented. So this application, what we give, we provide the proper technology to benefit farmer. Now, the question comes, why the farmer will share a data with you? By sharing data, if we can measure, the farmer can reduce 8 to 10 tons of carbon dioxide from atmosphere for that 1 hectare of land. He is eligible for that. So here is, gentlemen, 1 ton of 1 carbon credit is equivalent to 1000 kgs of carbon dioxide reduction. So this methane reduction is also calculated as a reduction in the carbon dioxide. So this is that they call it DCW, UNFCCC methodology, and there is a CDM methodology which is prescribed by Vera. And this methodology, what we give it to the farmer, there's a simple application. They keep on noting the farmer data, then put all the activities data, whatever they are doing, to a protocol, to send to a cloud, and cloud backend, it got into a blockchain enable. These data are getting verified by the auditor and validated by certifying agency. Then you create carbon assets or carbon credit. So in a nutshell, let me tell you some indication. A farmer, for 1 hectare of paddy cultivation can generate around 8 to 10 carbon credit, which is equivalent to each of the carbon credit from methane reduction or this practice is equivalent to around $20. So even at a $20 with a 10 carbon credit, it's equivalent to around $2,000. $2,000 is not a rocket science to know how much is the rupee value. Even right now, rupee at 80 rupees, it's around 16,000 rupees for a farmer to get benefited. But again, it's not that 100% farmer is going to get, something is going to get by this carbon aggregator consultants. So this is the value creation is happening by a activity which is getting recorded in a digital platform and getting delivered. So this is that what we are doing. Next 5 minutes, I'm going to cover the next aspect, what we are doing on the things. So what we are trying to do post process is that methane reduction and the paddy cultivation. Every ton of methane saved is equivalent to 21 tons of carbon dioxide saving that we get record. Application is ready. We are even this season we are trying with a bunch of farmer, but I think next season we'll be having a 10,000 farmer in this area getting ready, and the database is getting ready and the activities are getting ready. We are getting into that. Company like Samunnati, Coromandel, these companies are progressively coming up. Samunnati, we may be starting with a trial this season, but again next season we are going to get into a bigger activity out there. So now coming to the other aspect of the thing, what we are trying to do, we are creating a trusted supply chain for your farm to fork model using this technology. This is a proven technology. Already couple of models are there. The simple QR code, let's say for a good mango you are producing in your orchard, you can just connect it to the data server and create a beautiful flow, and just a scan of a QR in that packet of mango can give you the complete traceability. This is a live project which is being done for one of our Hyderabad client, Green Tattva. So again, scanning of a particular organic pickle is going to give you the complete traceability, where the mangoes are come, how the process is done, what is the freshness index of this particular product, and how the what is the best use of this thing. It's also getting delivered. Similarly, for a lettuce, I give you example. So these are the simple projects which can enable your what you want to deliver, or what farmer want to deliver. The truth level is getting delivered through a technology, simplified technology, not going to cost much. It's pocket friendly. Per product, per SKU, it can go as low as 5 paisa per packet stickering or the QR code addressing. So this is that the differentiation what you have done. In fact, along with PJTSAU, we have done the complete traceability for tandoor dal. You know that again the GI, geographical indication department, IPR department of Government of India, they are going to use this technology to tag to give the GI tag and for the monitoring of the GI product. So this is that what in a nutshell. My time is just 2 minutes is remaining. So what we are trying to deliver, connecting the dots between the high-end technology to your valued product, to the farmer, to the ground realities. That's what you are trying to deliver, and this is the business model what we are working for. Thank you. Okay, last but not the least, this is the PDS, Public Distribution System for the BPL category in Government of Orissa. The complete value chain is mapped through blockchain, and starting from the rice miller till the rice goes to the final beneficiary, everything getting tracked and traced through blockchain. And this is that what we have already implemented, and around 5 crores beneficiary, 5 crores families are getting benefited in Orissa. So this is what I want to say, and any questions, I'll be there after this session and ready to take any other questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the presentation. We will take up the questions after Mr. Prakash's session gets over.
Sure.
Now I invite Mr. Prakash. Zinath, can you introduce Mr. Prakash?
Yes, Our second speaker for the day is Mr. Prakash Kumar, the founder and MD at Vidaksh Technology. This Bangalore-based firm offers innovative services and solutions to make agriculture and agribusiness profitable, inclusive, sustainable, and future-ready. Some of their services include business consulting, that providing unique insights in agriculture, and data technology to the government, businesses, and multilateral organizations. They also cater to human capital need of agri-tech companies. Mr. Prakash holds 22 years of experience in driving strategy and operations with data-driven insights. I request Mr. Prakash to take over the session. Saurabh, can you please make him the presenter?
Okay.
We have made you the presenter. You can take over the session.
Okay. Thank you. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for having me here. And it was really very enlightening to hear from Praveen about what can be done with the blockchain. And I mean, congratulations for all the good work and best wishes for that. I am my startup is a little younger, I would say, and it is more in this exploratory mode. Um, so as you mentioned that primarily we are into three kind of things like business consulting is something which I started with, and then we also help some of the government and private organization in implementing some of the projects. And technology solution is actually our core, but since we are in the bootstrap mode startup right now, so we are slowly getting there. So right now we are at the stage of validation of the different concepts, identifying whether it would, I mean, what is the receptibility at the ground level with the farmers and all. Um, we have started connecting with some of the organization which is listed below, and that ranges from the government to private organization. Okay, having said that, let me just reinforce what Praveer mentioned that, and and we need
Sorry
to.
for interruption.
Can
Sir, we are
you?
not able to see your slide, sir.
You are not able to see a slide?
Yes, sir.
How come it is?
There is sharing option.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Just
Okay, now we can
one.
see that you're sharing
You can
content.
see, right? Okay.
Yeah, now it
I'm
is
so
coming,
sorry.
sir.
I'm so sorry. Um, so I just wanted to, okay, so just 2 seconds for the previous slide, what I already talked about. So we are trying to engage with the different facets of agriculture ecosystem, I would say. So government and policy making, the state government, which implements most of the projects, and certain organization like NABARD, CIMIT, BISA. We are working with the JICA Japan as well on a couple of projects. But most of the projects till now it has been into the exploratory side, so more of a consulting and research, exploratory research. But we are pretty much testing our solution at the ground level as well, which I will talk about. Um, right now, I just wanted to mention what Prabir highlighted. The only thing that I can add on here is India is one of the key food basket to the world. So if we are not sustainable, if we do not pay attention to the sustainability, it is not only impacting our nation, but it is going to impact the world, the global. It will be a global issue. That is size of our agriculture. So that I wanted to highlight. And one of the biggest climate challenge is definitely the rising temperature. And rising temperature is um, uh, dependent on the activities that we take. And agriculture is one of the key activity, I would say, which affects the at least in I can say confidently from the water management perspective, agriculture is one of the biggest that is impacting. I was reading at what makes it a sustainable agriculture. So I think the simplest solution or simplest way of explaining that will be we wanted to achieve biological or you can say ecosystem and economic stability. Now both of these go hand in hand unless the activity to protect the biological or the ecosystem, unless it has some kind of a utility value or economic value, the participation of the people in general will be difficult. So we have to be very careful that while protecting the environment, while making this agriculture practices sustainable, it is very important to get participation of the farmer. And now we know that the farmers um, uh, largely they are, although they are aware of the climate change in their own way, but perhaps they need some kind of a hand holding or some kind of a support to take some activities, or to maybe to measure some activities, or maybe to stop certain activities to uh, uh, to reduce the impact on the climate change and make agriculture more sustainable. Now, they will not do anything at the cost of their livelihood, at the cost of the food security and all. So while working on the making agriculture sustainable, we have to be very conscious and to make sure that the livelihood is protected and there is some kind of economic benefit that is um, educated to the farmers as well. Having said that, yeah, let me quickly glance through this basically. So we know that population is growing, agriculture productivity is also growing, but it is not growing at the similar rate. So although right now the pockets of the globe is it's having challenge of food security, thankfully we as a country are food surplus. But if climate keeps deteriorating, and if we do not focus on the sustainability of our agriculture, then the gap between what we can produce and what is actually demanded, uh, the gap will increase, and that is the concern. So though we are not facing any kind of a food insecurity right now as a country, but it is predicted, or maybe somebody, I mean, few people are of the opinion that if we do not care about the climate, then but maybe by the next 15 or 20 years, the food security will again become an issue, even for our country. So we need to take care of that. The second thing that I wanted to highlight, that you can see in the second graph on the top, is the economic aspect of that. So it is also very important to notice that not only the globe, but in India also, the middle class population is growing pretty fast. And this is creating a good economic value to any industry, including agriculture. So the what do they need? So for example, what middle class need? So from quantity, they have shifted to quality. So from quantity production, they wanted to shift to the quality production, or maybe quality food and all. So this is a good opportunity for farmer, especially at the stage when we are at the food surplus stage, to shift our focus. Keeping climate in mind, let us shift our focus toward the quality. And when I say quality, it is not only the food quality, but quality has also, I mean, the climate, or our response to the climate, our response to the sustainability also becomes a part of quality. As Praveer was mentioning earlier in the previous presentation also, that if you add the traceability, etc., then the value of the product in the mind of customer increases. So even that is the quality. So one food without the traceability note, and the second with the traceability note, that is also a way to enhance the quality in the mind of customer who is purchasing that. And this you can bring about through uh, a good agriculture practices, resilient agriculture practices. But how you are going to do that? I mean, industry cannot do this. Agriculture is a livelihood for large part of the global population. I think there are more than 500 million farmers across the globe. So any improvement or any change that you wanted to make, it has to be percolated down, and it activity at the ground level has to be taken by the farmer. And for farmer to take any activity to support sustainable agriculture, there has to be some benefit that they can see. So in India right now, we are seeing that the price realization by the Indian farmer is far behind the global average or something, or maybe the developed country and all. This also calls for what we can do to enhance the value of produce that they are making. not only the quantity, but the quality of produce. So I think we are at the very critical juncture wherein we need to very actively infuse these aspects like climate resilience, the climate friendliness, the quality production, because these things have multilateral benefits climate, benefits farmer, it increases its economic value of its produce. We as a company, we have these four pillars that we work on, whatever activity that we undertake. So we work with these four things in mind. We wanted to make agriculture practices profitable, inclusive, that most of the people or maybe the different strata, different geography, or different type of people or different type of culture, they are assimilated over there. It has to be sustainable and it has to be future ready. So one way of achieving what we want, like make the sustainable agriculture, the technology becomes a most important enabler these days, because this is the most cost effective and very influential way uh, of bringing about the behavioral change. So these are the four key pillars that we work on. Now let us jump to the technology quickly. Yeah. So technology, I don't think we need to get. I mean, I don't need to deliberate too much on the technology, because everybody knows that. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things related to the sustainability of agriculture. Is that what technology can do is uh, monitor certain things and enable activities. So monitor certain things could be, I mean, the real-time monitoring, or maybe estimating certain things, or maybe alerting certain things. So so monitoring, earlier it used to be done through a very manual way, and the results of those monitoring, the action taken had a long waiting time and all, which has now changed. So with this, with the new technology, all those things can be done much faster and in a much effective way and much controllable way. And the second thing is enabling some kind of a collaboration. I, I, I mean, collaboration, I would say that to make things more interactive. So can you use technology to reach out to more farmer? Can you use technology to uh, inform, to gather support, to bring different things together at one platform and all? I think these two key area, which I think that technology enables, and uh, there could be multiple solution that we can talk about. Okay, so I'm not going to highlight those specific solutions right now, although I will give you some of the very simple things that we are trying to do. Uh, but while using this, like while monitoring and while interacting, creating interactive platform, my opinion is that if you really want people's participation, then you have to create, or at least to I mean, you have to package those things to create utility, or to create economic value. Because unless you package your activity or package your enablement as a something which has an economic value, or it has a utility value, there will be less number of takers. I know that the larger organization like government and international organization might be something to drive certain change, but any change will not be successful in long run unless it is taken by the ground, the individual farmers and all. And for individual farmer, you need to make it utility driven. Whatever you are creating or whatever you are packaging, you have to make it utility driven, and it has to create some economic value. So these two things are my suggestion, or my highlights that I wanted to mention. Now, delving down into the individual technology can take a longer time, and I mean, anybody can get in there. Uh, One more thing that I would like to highlight here. I mean, I know, I mean, I just picked up from. one of my previous presentations somewhere. But the one thing that I wanted to highlight here is that any technology that we build, this is my experience while interacting with farmers and all. So it has to be the simplest possible in the hand of farmer or in the hand of user. So whatever application that we make, whatever system that we create, it has to be the simplest possible in the hand of farmer. Because let farmer focus on agriculture. We cannot expect farmer to take out time from his usual agriculture practices, especially when he is involved in the agricultural practices in the specific season. So any technology that we develop, we have to keep in mind that for farmer it should be very easy to use, and it should take the least possible time. For example, if you can get something captured automatically, that is the best. Don't request farmer to enter too many things over there. So for example, if something can be taken a picture and the picture can be 1,000 words, let farmer take picture and not speak 1,000 words. If something can be taken automatically, for example, GPS location, let it take automatically instead of asking farmer which village you belong, which district you belong. Don't take farmers time like that. Use your technology, use GPS location, do mapping and all. So my whole point is that whatever technology that we develop, it has to be simplest possible in the hand of farmer or the user, and it could go as complex or as sophisticated as possible at the back end. So this is something that I wanted to highlight here. Now, when we talk about the agriculture technology side, or maybe the ICT side of it, it is not like doing some kind of a charity or some kind of a work that we think has less economic value. I was just reading at some report from Inc. 20, Inc. 42 and all. It's a huge opportunity. So even if you look at the agri-tech opportunity, it is more than $24 billion and growing at 32% CAGR for the next few years. And what we have tapped so far, we have tapped maybe less than $1 billion. So there's a huge opportunity untapped over there uh, in this field to make ICT as an enabler to a sustainable agriculture. Some of the products or some of the things that we are working on. Again, we are at the exploratory phase. We have developed certain things, but we are in the phase of piloting it at certain places. Is that bringing AI-based advisory that collect information automatically or use your technology to collect information from the various sources. Let it be the climate, let it be the farmer, the ground solution, market information, and all. And let us create some kind of a economic value or utility value to the farmer when we advise them. The advisory doesn't need to be something like what we say in the Indian parlance that just we are advising it. All advisory has to relate to some kind of a utility or the economic value. So making those kind of advisory system which is helpful for farmer, that is one thing that we are working on. A certain IoT based solution. Again, my company, my startup is very clear on this, that let me start with the very simplest thing that farmer can use. So for IoT system also, you can build a as complex IoT system as you can imagine, but at the same it could be very simple as well. So for example, if we can create something which where farmer can do the soil testing immediately within 10 minutes or so, can we can we create that? Can we create something which can measure maybe 2 or 3 important parameters like weather, like humidity, temperature, wind speed? Can we can we create something like that? And on the top of that, it has to be cost effective. It has to be so cheap, or maybe it has to be so economical that individual farmer, maybe group of 2 or 3 farmer can use that, and wrap this it with the service, or maybe wrap it with the software which helps them to take some decision on that, like the climate, certain kind of a monitoring. The third thing that we are very seriously working on is creating the data lab, agriculture data lab. Now, this agriculture data lab is not academic, I would say. I mean, obviously there is an academic aspect to that, but what I meant to say, it is not about technical the research. It is more about the economic research. Some of the example that I gave, which could be very simple, I just picked up from the UP. That very simple thing. If you have a GPS location of the farmer's field or GPS map, can you tell them, or maybe can you use this for verifying certain thing? Similarly, can you create a calendar of availability? Can you distribute it to the farmer level? Can you aggregate to and make it available to all the agri value chain stakeholders? Similarly, can you create something, I think, which is similar to the blockchain, but not exactly blockchain? Can you help farmer create a maybe one page description of what his crop is about? Probably this will help him sell more. So there will be a technology behind that. And when you're creating that, include the issue of sustainability as well, so that farmer can use this sustainability activity as well to increase value of their produce. So so at our company, we are working on these three things. One is we have developed our AI-based advisory system, which we are going to pilot very soon. We are working very closely, very seriously on the agriculture data lab. And IoT solution, again, we are working on a very simple solution, not a complex one, but a simple and economic solution. That's it. I have used the past 2.5 years meeting large number of farmer, different organizations, policy makers and all, some of my international clients and all, to understand their perspective, what is important to them, and utilize those things to engage farmer in a discussion to make it more fruitful. Yeah. So having said that, this is all from my side. I hope I'm on time.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. It was very insightful. So we have a couple of questions here. I have noted down now. So
Okay, just a moment.
actually, with respect to this ICT technology for agriculture, there are certain problems or challenges, if we can reframe it. So the high cost of ICT infrastructure is one of the challenge. So for startups who want to get into this business, what tips you want to give, sir? How to handle it, ICT cost?
So is this question to Prabir?
Yeah, Prabir Mishra, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Prakash ji, it was a nice presentation, beautiful collation of data. Thank you for that. And yeah, so this is a good question. See, the ICT, the way it is getting transformed right now, is getting into something called as a service model or a software as a service. So think of creating not a product but a service model. Just to give an example, we are not creating different product for different customer on the traceability. We have got one single product that what we create, and we give kind of a services, software as a services. We customize the thing and everything is residing. So as a customer, as a user, you have to look that user pocket is pretty bit friendly. Don't look at his pocket. Think it of that, yes, he has to spend less, he has to be there for you forever. So you just charge per user base, per activity base, per month base, not spending. So any of our business model or any of our clientele, they don't have to spend more than 12,000 rupees on investing on a simple QR printer. That's what we say. And the innovation should be like that. Everybody is using a mobile phone. Mobile or a tab device is good enough to capture the data. In fact, what we collect the data, field level data using Samsung tab or some 9-inch tab, and that also get into kind of a precise GPS location, all those things. So think it of a creating any kind of a business model which is a pocket friendly, pocket light. Yes, coming to the ecosystem, if you're a good startup and trying to start the thing, the companies like AWS or Microsoft, they give you the initial free cloud up to, in fact, we have availed a lot of cloud, even we are also availing a lot of cloud capabilities free of cost. Use those kind of things, then you can create a model. But again, the innovation should be, think it of kind of a, not a product, it's a kind of a as a service.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now the question is for Prakash Kumar. Sir, adaptation to the new technologies is another challenge, especially with the farmers. You spoke about latest technologies that you are using, AI, ML, in farming services. So, what are some of the challenges that you have come across with respect to farmers adapting to these new technologies?
Yeah, thank you. And that is something which is very core to my heart, and I spend a lot of time on. So, very right question. What I have experienced so far, because initially we devised some application wherein a farmer had to enter certain data, few data, right? Uh, then I realized that it is probably not good. This is the, probably this is not what we are expecting too much from the farmer. So that thing, to have a higher adoption level, you have to think that from the farmer usability perspective, don't expect farmer to enter too much of data. For example, you should avoid creating a long list of field where farmer has to fill lot of information. Instead, work on the technology to make that automated, to make that to collect those informations from other sources. For example, if farmer calls me and I ask with a question that which state you belong to, which crop you grown, which agroclimatic area that you are in, those kind of question, farmer will be fed up. He will be terrified. He will not answer. So we as a young generation, the new starters and all, it is our responsibility to capture most of the data automatically, so that farmer focuses on farming, and you only interact with them for something that is useful to them, not for the rest of the data.
Yes, sir, very rightly said. So, in fact, there is another question linked to this. Maybe Prabir Mishra and Prakash, sir, both of you can answer for this question. So, when we are talking about ICT in sustainable agriculture, it's our responsibility to make sure that our youths know about this technology, especially educational institutions have a bigger role to play. So, what are some of the experience based on your startup? Maybe you might have involved few interns or somebody who is freshly graduated might have worked with your company. So, what challenges or what are some of the things as an institution we have a responsibility to cater these youths to prepare them for the future agriculture related practices?
Yeah. So, see, what we adopted, we are taking certain agri graduates. In fact, we keep on taking some agri graduate from the fresh agriculture college. In fact, in Telangana, PJT SIO, there are a couple of people are working with us. Now, see, the sustainable agriculture, when you are talking of, this is a new methodology. In fact, we are taking their support on training this farmer on the direct seeding technology, on the drum seeder technology, giving them, demonstrating them. We are taking their help, and obviously the students are giving us a good flip to that by being on that group and while training to the farmer. So yes, we are taking up those kind of a measure. We take a kind of an inclusive approach to connect with the scientist, connect with the farmer, and bridging those agriculture, in fact, bridging those gap, agriculture officer and state government officers also coming along with us, and to provide a kind of a advice. See, you can't tell a farmer how to do a farming. Okay, they know their things best. But again, when you are inculcating something as a change, it's a bigger challenge. As Prakash ji was talking about that, yes, the challenge has to be very inclusive. So we get involved. In fact, one of our Right now, we are proposing a couple of them. One of the field officer is posted in Paragi, who is working with the farmer. So he is motivating. So it's a kind of inclusive what you have to think. You can't just say that, okay, boss, you have to enter this data into this. They are not going to do that. They'll just throw on your face. So you have to be very inclusive, very careful. Those kind of approach you are taking. And I will not say I got 100% success, but there is success. Thank you.
Prakash sir, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I have seen a lot of enthusiasm among the students. That is 100% true. That a lot of enthusiasm among people. Even farmers are curious. They have certain curiosity, but what turns them off is the gap between their local issues or maybe the local climate and what we have in the academics. So I think that gap, for example, if a student is going talking to a farmer, he will listen to them for the certain time, but very quickly he starts realizing that probably a student is a little far off from what is the problem in his village or maybe in his agroclimate. So that is one thing which turns farmer off. We are also trying hard to how to get them engaged in the discussion. So there is nothing negative. Farmer is curious. Students are very enthusiastic. The institutions are also doing a lot of research work and all. But relate that to the local agroclimatic or maybe the local ecosystem is something where I think institution has some role to play, that how to relate it, to make it relevant to the farmer. Because unless farmer sees any utility or economic value, I am putting these two words together always, that utility value is something that, okay, is it going to benefit me? Like the climate, everybody experiencing climate change. And the second is the economic value. So unless you create those things, the receptibility will be lower. So maybe institution has a role to relate the advisory to the local ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have Mr. Vikramaditya Yadav, participant of today's webinar, who has raised his hand to ask question. Saurabh, can you unmute Vikramaditya so that he can ask the question directly to the speakers? Yeah, Mr. Vikramaditya, are you there? Okay, we have another participant, Mr. Wendo. Can you please unmute yourself and ask the question? Saurabh?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please
Hello.
go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hi, good morning all. This is a query to Mr. Prabir regarding he mentioned that there is some around 9 to 10 carbon credits can be earned from 1 hectare. This is the maximum limit, or it can go up also, and like
No, this is a kind of a average what we estimated. It can be higher, it can be lower, and the value of $20 can be higher. See, last year we have seen that it was around 15. Now it has gone up, and the demand of the quality carbon, the way it is going up, it is going to go up. So, of course, your question was specific on 8 to 10. It can also go up, also can go down, provided what sort of a package of practice you are adapting. So generally we do a baseline study, then we see what is that after the application of that particular methodology, what is the difference, then that get a specific measurement of carbon credit. So there is a scientific process into that, and that's been perfected by there's a methane reduction it's a methane reduction process. Methane chamber has to be installed in a sample field of half acre. So there's a complete process is there. Yes, but not specific to 8 to 10. It can be more also. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Vikramaditya, are you back? Can you ask the question to the speakers? Saurabh, you can unmute Mr. Vikramaditya.
yeah, hi. Thanks. I just want to as you said that you do a baseline survey first, okay, to understand what are the emissions there, okay. So now, normally, like, what are the emissions as on today in the paddy field from 1 hectare, as per your baseline survey?
So this is a tricky question. In fact, the current process, the first thing what we have adopted, we just taken, we've got around 27 chambers are getting installed. I think next season I'll be in a better position to answer you, because it depends on a lot of measurement factors, and we are deploying scientists. I can't give you a perfect answer on that. I'm sorry for that. But again, you connect with my team. They'll give you the complete kind of a clarity on that, how the things and who are the scientists and how the things are getting measured. It will be a good, interesting research for us also. Yeah. But again, we have got the methodology, we have got the chambers, and everything is ready. We have also tied up with the institution for doing the gas chromatography, I think, to understand how much is the measure. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, we have one question in the chat box by Mr. Santosh. Is asking how much cost is required to set up IoT-based rain irrigation for about 1 hectare area where he is growing mixed vegetables during summer.
I have got no idea. I think Mr. Prakash can answer that.
Yeah, so I just missed one term, which is a IoT-based
IoT-based rain irrigation setup.
rain irrigation.
Rain, why you need
Yes.
IoT?
Rain irrigation, see, actually, IoT are mainly to control certain things. So if it is raining, then probably it will not require any device, because you cannot control rain
Yes.
through IoT device.
Maybe I think I will reframe the question. Maybe I might have done some typo error. Maybe he's asking IoT-based irrigation setup during the summer season. He's asking maybe automatic
Okay.
sprinkler or something like that.
Okay, so maybe he might be referring to the sprinkle or something
Yeah,
IoT based. Yeah. So the cost of IoT, see, one cost is that establishing your irrigation, like for example, drip irrigation or a sprinkler, whatever you are establishing. That is one cost, which I am just keeping that aside. The other cost is monitoring, the micro monitoring, right? So for example, maybe you can decide on at what level you wanted to monitor. So assuming that your land is completely leveled, like there is no up and down and all, then probably you will need certain IoT device, few IoT devices to capture the moisture level below the soil and above the soil. So de- that will depend. I mean, one device. I mean, it is very difficult to say exact number that exactly how much it will cost. But I think such moisture measuring device could be range from maybe less than 1,000 to it could be 5 to 6,000 also, depending on how you are building it. Uh, I think it can be affordable. It can be affordable if you level your ground properly and use the moisture to trigger. See, IoT devices in the irrigation is basically you capture the local micro level. Micro level means the specific per square meter, per square meter, maybe per 10 square meter or certain thing. You use IoT device to measure moisture level below the soil or maybe above the soil, whatever is required, and that you create a trigger to switch on or switch off the sprinkler system. So IoT device is nothing but a device which measures certain parameter and triggers irrigation. So creating such device and integrating that with the creating such devices some from 500 to maybe a certain thousand, but integrating that to your the complete system will take certain more amount, but that will depend on the case to case basis. But I think that could be affordable, especially in the area where water scarcity is there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prakash sir. With this, we will end today's Saturday webinar series. I thank all the participants who participated in today's session and asked the questions to the speakers and patiently listened to them. And I also thank both the speakers on behalf of Manage CIA. We have shared the feedback link in the chat box for the participants. You can give the feedback to us. And also we have shared the details of our upcoming programs what Manage CIA is already conducting. You can go through those links and register yourself. And just brief details, like Manage is organizing a national level innovation and business challenge by the name Agri Eureka 2022. The registrations are open, and the last date to apply for this particular program is October 15th. So I request all the participants to check our official website and go through the details published there. And also, in order to help agri startups and also youths regarding the digital marketing skills that they require for their agri startups, so we have exclusively launched a certification program, and that you can find the details in our website also. And for those people who just have an idea, who want to convert their ideas into a business enterprise, so we have launched exclusive pre-incubation program. Even the registration is open for that, so participants can register themselves and take benefit out of it. So, and also the details of our social media links has been posted in the chat box. You can visit our all social media accounts and follow them to get the latest updates on whatever we are doing now. So I thank everyone once again on behalf of Manage CIA. We'll see you all in the next webinar series. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Praveen. It's
Thank
our
you.
pleasure to be here. Thank you. Bye.